I want to get the opinion of our news anchor, John Shaffer, who what is your label over there at Penn State? What is actually your label here in Las Vegas when it comes to Penn State, so I get it right?
I am the chairman of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee for the Penn State Alumni Association.
That's a lot to remember. I'm not going to remember that, but it does sound like an important position.
That's like 55 characters.
Speaking of
Big business card.
Yes. So you got this guy who writes a letter talking about Jonathan Sutherland's hair, who is a player on the Penn State football team, as awful and disgusting. And a lot of people call it racist, and I think it is, but it's just one person. And then you have the coach of the team who made some statements and came out and basically I think Penn State coach James Franklin did a really good job. So this is I want to get your opinion on this, but let's play a couple cuts first. This is Penn State coach James Franklin in regards to somebody who wrote a letter calling an African-American male with dreadlocks as disgusting and awful.
The football that I know and love brings people together and embraces differences. Black, white, brown, Catholic, Jewish, or Muslim, rich or poor, rural or urban, Republican or Democrat. Long hair, short hair, no hair. They're all in that locker room together.
And James Franklin also went on to talk about this gentleman, Jonathan Sutherland, directly.
Jonathan Sutherland is one of the most respected players in our program. He's the ultimate example of what our program is all about. He's a captain. He's a Dean's List honor student. He's confident. He's articulate. He's intelligent. He's thoughtful. He's caring, and he's committed. He's got two of the most supportive parents, and I would be so blessed if my daughters would marry someone with his character and integrity one day.
Okay, John, what do you say about this story?
Oh, I completely agree with what Coach Franklin said. It's ridiculous that someone would write a letter like that. You think the person is disgusting because he has dreadlocks?
It's racist.
Yeah, I definitely think that it's racist.
Mm-hmm. So,
because again, there are white players on the team that have long hair or have earrings and have tattoos, and he didn't say anything about them. He just singled out this one player with dreadlocks who's African American.
Yeah, and I think it's unfair to label a school as racist or to say the athletic department is racist or you got a bunch of racist alumni.
Right, none of this has to do with the school. It has to do with this one person. Yeah.
It's one person that wrote a letter.
He could have written it to any school except he's an alumni of this school. But it's not a Penn State story. It's a generational gap story.
So first of all, how does this letter get public, number one? And number two, why does everybody make a big deal of one moron who writes a letter that happens to be a racist? That's the part of the story I don't understand.
Because everything gets leaked. So that's how it became public. And then it got so much attention because people that think that the guy that wrote it is an idiot feel that you need to shine light on people who say things like this, because that's how you deal with it, is if you have to let people know there are people out there. Racism exists. There are people out there that feel that way. And if you don't shine the light on that problem, you're not going to be able to fix the problem.
Do you think if not for what happened with the whole Sandusky situation that maybe this letter doesn't even become public?
No, I think it has nothing to do with that.
You don't think it has anything to do with that at all? So, because I'm thinking to myself, well, the Sandusky stuff, maybe they just want to, pull more crap over on Penn State and because you have one racist more. Is this guy even an alumni? Do we even know that? Who wrote this letter?
I don't know that for sure, no.
So what are some of your friends who are Penn State alumni as well? What do they think about this situation? Because I would imagine you've talked to them about it.
Yeah, they all think the same thing, that this person is an idiot and is a racist, and that the coach said the right thing. They wish the university would come out and make a statement about the whole thing as well.
Do you think this guy should be banned from going to games and being on campus?
No.
You don't?
No.
Because some colleges might consider doing that.
Right, but then I think what he said is horrible, but he has a right to free speech, so
he does have a right to free speech.
Free speech means all speech, not free speech means speech that I like. But if you say something I don't like, then you shouldn't have the right to say it.
Well, that's true. That's true. But I mean, I guess there are different levels of what you can say, what you can't say. Yeah.
So the whole thing is Penn State's very big on the "we are Penn State" thing. But we means we. We doesn't mean me and you, but not JD, because he's not part of we. We is everybody.
Mm-hmm. So this story is going to go away. The coach made his statements about it, and it's done.
I mean, that was as good of a statement as a coach could make.
No, I thought he did a great job.
You'll find maybe 2 or 3. I mean, that was politician good. That was unbelievably good.
Make no mistake about it. I think he did a great job. Well, John, thank you for sharing your perspective on this, and I agree with you, by the way. I think this is pretty much a nothing burger.
Yeah, and I think it's because you guys are sports guys and people in the sports world have latched onto it, but I don't think people are just out there in the general world that don't care about college athletics.
No, I mean this is the kind of guy that's probably wearing his Klan outfit and going to a Klan meeting tonight, and he just decided to do something racist. And this has nothing to do with Penn State. This has nothing to do with the school. Nothing to do with the team or any of that stuff. It's just one moron who wrote a letter. There's a lot of idiots out there in the world, and this is no different. John, thanks for your perspective, man. I appreciate it.
Certainly.
All right.
Thanks a lot, John.
So we're gonna have a lot of fun when we come back. We're going to have a gentleman on the line. His name is, we call him Mr. X, the Hollywood conservative. He is a longtime Hollywood producer who happens to be a Donald Trump supporter. Boy, is there a lot to get to with him. We're going to talk about what he makes of these new polls, where Fox says 51% of Americans believe that the president should be impeached. We're going to ask him what he thinks about the Joker movie, of course, right? We got to talk about that. What does he think about Ellen DeGeneres sitting next to George W.? How about all the flack that she's taken over the course of the last 48 hours for that? We'll get into Tyler Perry as well. Mr. X coming up next. We'll take a quick break. And we have Dick Vitale coming up in hour number 3. So that's going to be a lot of fun as well. Talk a little baseball and basketball with him. We'll take a quick break. Be back right after this. You are listening to The Vegas Take.